Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we're jumping into another one of the team versus video series or whatever. So what we're doing here is we're doing this year's LR, the, middle of June sort of time slot, is the LR Spirit Bomb Goku. And then this same LR from last year's time slot is actually LR Golden Frieza. Now, if you take a look at the team for Spirit Bomb Goku, we're running Yamcha's team, and we got just an abysmal rotation. Just an absolutely dreadful rotation. And then on the cooler side of things right here, I saw that LR Golden Frieza's in slot 7, and my intention was to have Golden Friezas on each side, so I was like, okay, we'll just, like, go with something different. Like, I'll just float Golden Frieza off, and then, I mean, LR Metal Cooler, man. It's so funny because this was recorded before I've seen a bunch of discourse about this, but I mean, I do not go super crazy for LR Metal Cooler. He just, to me, is not a very impressive character, LR Metal Cooler, like, at all. I think Golden Frieza, who is a year old at this point, is better than the Spirit Bomb Goku that just came out, which is kind of unacceptable. The same time slot character from a year earlier is better. But that just goes to show we have not had, cataclysmic power creep or something like that. I think, no matter what anyone might say, I think Dokkan has done a very good job with the post-7th anniversary meta reset. They've done a good job of allowing people to catch up, right? Rather than just continue to push forward ridiculously, which I think is a good thing. They could still drop more difficult content, but they don't need to push it forward, which they have. I think Dokkan has done a good job with setting a huge jump and then not really pushing past it for quite a while now, allowing people to catch up, which is very smart of them to do. Now, Golden Frieza, I think, is better than Goku, and of course I like Golden Frieza better than LR Metal Cooler, without a doubt. But I've seen a lot of discussion about this recently, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of LR Metal Cooler. He just doesn't really bring, I think, too much to the table. But the difference between Goku, who I think is probably just stronger than Metal Cooler, is that Goku is pointless on, like, every team he's on. It's, like, not to say he can't, get, like, at least okay defense and do, decent attack numbers. Not necessarily great damage because he's not critting and additionaling and all that type of stuff, but he could do at least, a good attack number. But the difference is that Metal Cooler he's so needed. Like, LR Metal Cooler is so important on these villain teams that don't have a ton of options. Whereas Goku, could be like the 20th option on a lot. Like, Earthbred Fighters, you could get 20 characters, easy, more probably, on Earthbred Fighters before you put in LR Goku on the team, right? And, like, we're talking, like, these villain teams, you do not get 20 characters deep before you get to Metal Cooler. It's not how it works. So, it's like, even though I would say I do like Goku, just like if, they had the, I don't know, same team or something like that, or like same, you get what I'm saying. Just Goku's strength level is above Metal Cooler, but Metal Cooler is just a more, like, needed character on his teams. And this is why they can fumble Goku, it's okay. But, they fumble, like, Metal Cooler or Turles or Super 17. Like, those are the ones where we feel real effects. Now, Metal Cooler did get Juice turn 1, but I think he does spend a lot of this fight bringing us back with his HP regen. I think that's very important to mention. By the way, what we're doing with this, I recorded the cooler runs first, if anyone is curious. Because typically what I'll do is now I'm kind of like, I have a plan in my head of what I want to do. Super attack dodge, ring it up, ring it up, ring it up. Super attack dodge, ring it up, ring it up, ring it up. I have a plan in my head going in. So going into the video, I started recording with the cooler team. And my idea was that I was going to do Metal Cooler, and then we go straight into the Metal Cooler core. Things went smoothly, so then I did the same thing with the teams where we would use Spirit Bomb Goku, right? And of course, villains don't have, oh my god, 80 setups and stuff like that. We use 2 different teams for Goku, but we just use the same team with some different characters for like, the Golden Frieza side of things. Yamcha, I would say that this was probably a pretty good run by Yamcha, right? The Yamchas did pretty good, considering we got both Yamchas in the same turn, which is a real, like, double Yamcha plus Yajirobe is a death sentence turn, and, like, the team overall is just so powerful and stuff like that, that we're able to just completely bring it back. Now, this is the way sometimes things can go, right? Like, LR Golden Frieza start out on slot 7 on the Cooler team, and then Goku, you know, this is going to be his first attack right here on turn 4 as well. Now, remember, with Goku, it is very important, imperative, actually, you get the 21 key. That is so important for Goku. At the 21 key mark, Goku gets huge stat buffs, right? Alright, so, we are able to use Bulma. She, of course, you know, best unit in the game. She's just bringing so much to the table with her guard, her damage reduction, her support, the crits, the orb changing. And then, of course, I've got my Bulma with full dodge, so she could dodge as well. She's just bringing a lot to the table. There is our first attack by Goku. Just a clean 18 million attack set right there with barely any links active. I mean, we will certainly take that, right? We did get the hit on Potential System Additional, but it's only a normal right there. And then on the Cooler team, you know, remember, Piccolo Jr. is a nice addition to Cooler's team. You know what's funny is I probably could have rocked Amond and Raisin. I should have used Amond and Raisin. I mean, we didn't have any issues. Yeah, I mean, I probably should have just used him over LR Janemba. I mean, LR Janemba is certainly an effective character, but, like, LR Janemba's not matching up to what Amond and Raisin are doing. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I probably should have brought them. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Like, LR Janemba's still, like, a useful character we could bring. We got Carnival Goku's active right there. Pretty good damage, honestly, on his active. Carnival Goku's active typically is pretty weak in terms of damage, but you know what it does do? The attack break. Bam. We attack braked Metal Cooler's healing, so that means we're able to finish him on this turn. That attack break right there. Now, remember, these aren't really races per se. I'm not using these as, like, oh, like, let's, you know, oh, look at this team did it way faster, or, oh my god, like, this team is way stronger. Oh, this proves that Golden Frieza is better than Goku. Nothing like that, right? Just kind of like looking at two, you know, good setups for the two characters side by side is kind of my intention with this. Carnival Goku attack breaking Metal Cooler's heal allows Spirit Bomb Goku's teams to get way in front of the Cooler teams because of that. Because we prevent a Metal Cooler from healing, right? And then, like, no crit. Is that my Cooler? No, it's a friend Cooler. I was gonna say, dude, if my Cooler doesn't crit, I would slap the shit out of him. My Cooler, I've given that boy so much crit. You better crit. So we finish over here. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to do Metal Cooler and then go right into the Metal Cooler core. One thing I definitely do want to do is do a variety of different events, like when we do these like team versus videos, right? So like the next one I would do is for the Tanabata LR. You know, last year's was Vegeta and Trunks. They'll be one team, and then the other team will be, you know, going up against whatever the new Tanabata LR is going to be. Is what we're gonna do, and I'll make sure to not do like these Metal Cooler fights, right? Like we'll do maybe, I don't know, like Red Zone Gammas, and then like, you know, Super 17 or something like that. I think it's good to get a variety of different fights. Now remember that LR Golden Frieza himself. I mean, honestly, these fights, Metal Cooler Core and Metal Cooler, are great fights for Golden Frieza. The shorter the fight is, the more dominant Golden Frieza is. LR Golden Frieza very well may still be the best turn 1 unit in the game. Is there a better one? I mean, because you can't use Orange Piccolo turn 1. I mean, Bulma does what she does on turn 1. GT, Goku, and Vegeta, technically you can use their Spirit Bomb turn 1, actually. You can. But, I mean, it's not common. I mean, you know, there was the event during the anniversary where you could do it, but that's, again, not something you really see typically. But yeah, it's something you could do. So it's like, I don't know, I don't hold me to that, but like, yeah, Golden Frieza is like the best unit in the game turn 1, probably is still the case, because no boss can damage Golden Frieza turn 1, and that's probably not going to change, maybe ever, right? Like, that's LR Golden Frieza is always going to be a great Super Battle Road character, a great Dokkan Battlefield character, like always. Maybe potentially a good EZA character. I do think that there's value for that, for sure. You know, it does matter that Golden Frieza's got like different spots that we can kind of like utilize him on. All right, so you know, the Cooler team, you know, finished up. Now we're going into the same run. I think I only made one change. We got TUR Cooler on here. Yeah, I did not want to bring TUR Cooler against just the Red Zone Metal Cooler fight. because Metal Cooler, that AGL Metal Cooler phase, he will mess TUR Cooler up. Like, we would get one-shotted if he's going to get a super attack off, right? That Metal Cooler fight, it's just too short for TUR, because TUR STR Cooler, right? He gets a lot better the longer the fight is going to go on. Now, keep in mind, too, what I do with these videos, you know, I keep all animations on, so, you know, we're getting kind of like the full experience of the characters. I mean, these videos, you know, are more of an aesthetic thing. Now, one thing, you cannot race Golden Frieza on a team and the animation skip is not on. Like, Golden Frieza's team, like, cannot win or something. Because that Golden Frieza intro is so long. I'm not complaining whatsoever about that, right? Because they gave us an intro skip. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. I like the super long intros and actives because we could skip. That's a huge thing. Dokkan, where is our standby skip, Dokkan? I feel like, I don't remember the exact day it happened, but just vaguely off the top of my head, it feels like by the time the 7th anniversary is wrapping up, they added the intro skip into the game, right? Like, I don't know why is the standby skip not in the game? Are they just waiting to put it in Global and JP at the same time, like during Worldwide or something like that? Like, I don't know, but it's not the biggest deal ever, but it's like, you know, it's like, all right, well, now we're going to watch, you know, Goku do the GT Spirit Bomb for the 50th straight time, right? Like, it's like, oh, man, and if I decide, like, you know, we swap in a Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then, oh, actually, I want to redo the turn, it's like, well, you know, tough. We're going to have to watch that animation again. Now, remember that the Metal Cooler core fight is very tough, but one thing that's very good about this opener here is that the army is invincible. So, like, Final Form Cooler, you know, if he's doing this, super, crit, like, he's killing, like, any early boss. In this fight, Cooler can just completely build up, right? Like, this super attack on Cooler, this isn't gonna mean nothing. Like, it doesn't matter. Like as Cooler's building up, he's good. He's good to go. So, that's good. I do still like that LR Janemba's very viable, by the way. He is. Janemba definitely has a significant downside in that you want him in slot 1, really. Like his Janemba's value would be if you're able to run him in slot 1, but the problem is he builds up in slot 2 or 3. That's sort of how they balanced him. But, you know, he does have some defensive abilities. He's still viable, even 2 years later, which I think is pretty good. Shows his design is really good. And that's the thing, you know, a lot of people these days are like, oh, you know, if a character, I mean, this started with me, right? Where, you know, oh, no guard, no damage reduction or something? Yeah, looking kind of funny. We got the nullification for Metal Cooler, by the way. Yeah, there we go. Nice. But, you know, I'm kind of side-eyeing, no guard, damage reduction? What's going on here, right? I do like that people have kind of like caught up to that too. Like that's one thing with the Spirit Bomb Goku. You know, people see that and it's like, oh, Goku, man, what do you bring to the table? And I still maintain that Goku. So he has the 5 key and 59% attack buff he gets when he finishes an enemy off. If you just remove that and give him 40% damage reduction or 50% damage reduction, he's pretty good. I feel like he's not like, oh my god, he's like a top 3 unit or something like that. Like, he's not like that, but he's good. Like, you'd be able to find real value in a character that would be able to do that, right? Because Goku, I mean, he's getting close. Link level 10, Rainbow, he's getting close to 1,000,000 defense on many of these turns after he super attacks. You slam, you know, 40% damage reduction on top of that, and he's looking pretty good, right? Like, he's a very valuable character. And it has always been this way too, right? Where, again, people nowadays are like, oh, you know, I hate how the characters have to have guard and stuff like that, but those types of characters have always been the best. In Janemba, like, if we would go top 5 EZAs ever, Janemba's on the list, right? Like, I feel like in Janemba and Tech Ultimate Gohan are 2 characters that Dokkan dropped, and then they said, we might have fumbled here, like, it's too much. Because Janemba was like the best EZA, or one of the best EZAs for 2 years? A long-ass time. Janemba was insane. And then Tech Ultimate Gohan is still good. He's still good. We're 3 years later, and Tech Ultimate Gohan is still good. So, like, these, like, guard-type characters have always been effective. The thing with guard, though, you gotta understand, I mean, most mechanics are like this, right? Is that guard itself is not enough, right? You now it's like you're guarding and you have 500k defense, like, yeah, you know, you're cooking. But it's got to be like that, right? It's not just guard itself doesn't do enough, right? Like AGL Super 17, who mostly just has raw damage reduction, not a ton of defense. He can get cooked a lot of times, right? You know, in Janemba nowadays, he gets blasted because he's guarding, but he has, you know, very, very low defenses. Now, this fight actually does begin to go a little bit south for the Power of Wishes team. This obviously would do a lot of damage to us. I mean, the core hits very hard, right? So we take a huge amount of damage. Now I'm thinking, oh, we're good. We look at this, boom, boom, boom. I'm like doing the Birdman. I'm rubbing my hands together, like, whew, we got it, man. But guess what happens? This has happened to me a couple of times recently. The revive character, who I'm like, yeah, they're dead. And then we live with like 70,000 HP. I hate that shit. That's what happens here. We do a lot of damage to the Metal Cooler core, but we live with a sliver of HP, which puts us in a very, very, you know, kind of like tricky spot. Now, here's a good way we could use LR Metal Cooler on the right side, too. Remember that Metal Cooler, if he dies, he revives. So I'm thinking, oh, we could just do this, because the core can't one-shot Final Form Cooler. Not happening. And then if the core supers Metal Cooler, he'll die, but he'll just come right back. All right, so we're good. We're able to get Vegeta and Trunks' active skill, which is very good. If you guys forget, people were pretty upset when Vegeta and Trunks were the Dokkan Fest LR announcement last year. Many people felt that like they weren't deserving. A lot of people were feeling that way. But the animation's hard carried. And then, of course, how good they are. So we'll see what's going to happen this year with the Tanabata LR. But yeah, I think Vegeta and Trunks' animations, they're just like ridiculous. Ridiculously good, right? So that's one thing that I do really love. Okay, so Cooler over here is just, you know, doing his thing, doing a ton of damage. Cooler can really eradicate the Metal Cooler core, right? Like, that's the thing. Remember, the kind of like the Yamchas and Tech Carnival Goku kind of put the Spirit Bomb Goku team in front of the Cooler team, but like, you know, we're right around right here where we're just, you know, doing 50 animations for the Goku team, and then the Coolers are just gonna start wailing on the core, right? Like, once the Coolers get going, it's just tons of damage being put out. So again, right here, I think, so the core doesn't super on this turn, I think, right? By the way, that does suck too. So Vegeta and Trunks, you know, we use their active skill right there. 21 million for Goku, pretty good. We use their active skill. They have guaranteed crits on the turn, but they're sealed by the core, right? So that's bad. So there's a normal Goku double-digit tanks, of course. And then GT Vegeta, you know, he'll do some nice damage right here. You know, I was like, oh yeah, like, he's dead. Like, it's fine. We're gonna Spirit Bomb to probably finish. And then, oh, nope, we have a sliver of HP left. So now we're in just like a devastating predicament, because you can't use the same standby at the same. See, we can't swap into Vegeta with the second GT Goku and Vegeta. So now we're in a really bad spot, because the core didn't super attack last turn either. So it's like the chances of him super attacking right away, I would say, are pretty good. So, but it's like what do we do here? Like, it's very difficult. I choose to put Bulma in slot 1. That does allow us to get, you know, just 7 straight physical orbs for God Goku, so we can grab those, and then we can have the GT Goku and Vegeta. And then, of course, the Cooler decides, we'll just go ahead and super attack Bulma, which happens right here, right here. And then, whoop, dodge saves us. Yeah, the dodge saved us. That dodge, I mean, we definitely die right there. You know, Bulma is very tanky, but how much HP do we have? 181? I mean, Bulma, remember, gets a lot of defense when she supers, right? She was sealed. So we would have died if Bulma would have eaten that. So that's, you know, we win this run against the Metal Cooler core because of dodge. Like, we won with dodge. That's why, you know, I'm at the point where, you know, everyone says, yeah, you're overrating dodge and stuff like that, but it's like every video we win off of dodge. Like, I don't know. You know, just saying. Just throwing that out. You know, just throwing that out. Throwing that out there. That's all. That's all. So we're wrapping both runs up at this point. Let me know what you guys think of the two main, you know, LR sort of focal points we had here. LR Golden Frieza, as well as the LR Spirit Bomb Goku. Again, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm taking Golden Frieza. I think Golden Frieza is a better character than Goku. Golden Frieza has a real special ability the first couple of turns with how dominant Golden Frieza's defense is, right? His first 2 rotations, like, nothing can hurt Golden Frieza. Like, nothing. He's tanking everything. So, like, I think that's incredibly valuable over just the raw attack numbers that Goku does, right? So it's that is definitely not good, but I have said this. They did fumble this Goku majorly. I think he's probably better than Super 17, so Super 17 probably worst release of the year power-wise, and then I think this Goku is probably number 2. But the fact that Golden Frieza, I'm so comfortable just saying, like, yeah, he's better than Goku. And Golden Frieza came out a year ago, right? Like, I mean, to be fair, Golden Frieza probably was the best unit in the game when he came out. I think at the time I was putting him 3, but I definitely like Golden Frieza probably better than the 7th anniversary LRs now. Like, I don't know. Golden Frieza probably was the best unit in the game the day he came out in June last year, probably. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the 2 characters. Thanks, guys, for watching. Again, the next one of these that we will do LR Vegeta and Trunks, was last year, 2022 Tanabata LR, and we'll, pit them against whatever the 2023 Tanabata LR is going to be. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.